Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today, my group will discuss about applications of differentiation. Before we start, I will introduce the members in this group.
First of all, I would like to introduce about our topic. Our topic is differentiation. What is differentiation? Differentiation can be defined as a derivative of a function with respect to an independent variable. Differentiation can be applied to measure the function per unit change in the independent variable. It also can help us solve many types of real-world problems. Secondly, why do we use differentiation? The main purpose of using differentiation is to find out how fast something is changing based on the slope of the line. It also gives the rate of change of a function. It can use anytime we want to study how the change of one variable affects another. Thirdly, application of differentiation in our real life. With the help of differentiation, we are able to find the rate of change of one quantity with respect to another. Some of the examples are 1. Acceleration, rate of change of velocity with respect to time. 2. To calculate the highest and lowest point of the curve in a graph or to know its turning point. 3rd, to find tangent and normal to a curve.
Now let us move on to the problem statement. This is the question that has been given. The first sentences from this question is, an airplane flying at 450 km per hour at a constant altitude of 5 km is approaching a camera mounted on the ground. Next, let theta be the angle of elevation above the ground at which the camera is pointed. From both of these sentences, we can actually sketch a diagram to solve this question, and here is the diagram that has been sketched. Now, let's see the third sentences for this question. It says that when theta equal to pi over 3, how fast does the camera have to rotate in order to keep the plane in view? From these sentences, we can actually use the information given to help us to solve this question more easier.
The first step that we have to do is we have to look at the question. So the question states that the airplane is flying at a constant altitude with the speed of 450. Okay, so from here we actually can get the value of the x over dt. So the value of the x over dt will be negative 450. It be negative is because the airplane is approaching the camera, but the camera is on the ground, so it will be negative 450. Okay, so for this question, I will use the tan formula. Okay, because tan will use the value of the opposite of the angle of theta, and also the value of the side of the angle of the theta. Okay, so tan theta is equal to 5 over. Okay, so to answer this question, we also have to take a look at what we have to find. So what we have to find is d theta over dt. So to find d theta over dt, we have to find d theta over dx and multiply by the x over dt. So we actually have the value of the x over dt, but we don't have the value of d theta over dx. Okay, so to find the value of d theta over dx, it might be quite hard if you use the value of theta. So to make it easier, we have to use the value of x, which we can get the value of x from tan theta is equal to 5 over x. So the value of x is equal to 5 over tan theta. The next step is we have to differentiate the value of x. So the value of x, we have to differentiate. So u will be 5 and u prime will be 0. The v will be tan theta, and also the v prime will be secant square theta. Okay, so we will get a dx over d theta. So to find the x over d theta, we have to substitute the value of u prime, v, and v prime in the formula of v u prime minus uv prime over v squared. Okay, so we will get tan theta will be multiplied by 0 minus 5 multiplied by secant square theta over tan theta square. Okay, so it will be negative 5 secant square theta over tan square theta. Okay, so if we look at the equation, we actually can get the basic one of the formula. So like secant square theta is actually like 1 over cos theta square. Okay, so like tan theta is actually from sin theta over cos theta. Okay, so we have to make it easier. Okay, so it will be negative 5 multiplied by 1 over cos theta square divided by sin theta over cos theta square. So we will get negative 5 multiplied by 1 over cos square theta divided by sin square theta over cos square theta. So the final answer for this equation will be negative 5 over sin square theta. But the question is to find the d theta over dx. So we have to fit the value. So it will be negative sin square theta over 5. So we have to multiply both values. So we will get 90 sin square theta. But this is not the final answer. We have to refer back to the question, which states that d theta over dt when the theta is pi over 3. Okay, so we have to substitute the value of theta in the equation. Okay, so theta is equal to pi over 3. Okay, so d theta over dt is equal to 90 sine pi over 3 square, and we will get 67.5. So the final answer will be the camera needs to rotate 67.5 radius per hour.
For the conclusion, there are 3 recaps. First recap. As the video mentioned before, differentiation is the method of finding a derivative of functions. Derivatives are often used to determine the maximum and minimum values of a lot of things like profit, loss, cost, and many more. Let's take the question mentioned before as an example. We use differentiation to know how fast the camera has to rotate in order to keep the airplane in view. Next recap. This shows that differentiation is important in our daily lives because it determines the rate of change in values of our surroundings. Last recap. In conclusion, differentiation can solve various types of real-world problems. That's all from us. Thank you.